Alrighty. Okay, cool. I recently also changed the music up just a bit, so just changed up a playlist because it's been like almost a year and a half for that. Alright, sweet. Are you also this good at Blender? Well, technically, software-wise, I do know some things now, but I did practice a lot of animation in Blender, so I'm pretty much a bit more familiar with animation in Blender. It's just the reason why I was able to catch up real fast, because this isn't the first time that I sculpt from a different software, because I used to use ZBrush and Mira back when I was in college. So the only thing that was like the barrier between me and Blender was just basically the software interaction, which basically I just have to relearn where all the buttons are, because they're at different places, and once I figure out where all the buttons are by doing a little Google searching and keywords of what pipelines that I remember what to use, then pretty much my fundamentals will kick in and then just take care of the rest. But if you also got any like questions about 3D fundamentally, I can explain. This may have been just started, but I won't be able to say but start because of work, but I'm still alive. Alright, no worries, Mark. I understand if you're busy or if you're focused on work. No worries. You come first. But how's it going? Oh yeah, speaking of which, I think one of Mark's movies just was almost like there, just came out, or I don't know when it's gonna release, maybe today or something. I don't know, I haven't watched it yet. I have to do some more digging of how much it would cost. It released today? Oh, okay. If I can remember the name, is it Ironlund or something? Because I remember he was talking about that like a year or two ago. Yeah, but I hope he's doing alright. I haven't watched him in like a while. I used to remember him for the Five Nights at Freddy's days. Yes, Ironlund's derived from the game. Derivative from the game. Okay, interesting. Well, it would make sense because he is a gamer, though. So right now, what I'm currently doing is some retopology. So what it basically is that I'm just breaking down like the ones that I have like some form of like high poly mesh over there, just to lower down to like a manual lower res, but in a way that's like not only animatable but also have like better optimization if I ever want to export the model anywhere else. Because usually you don't want the high poly to be anywhere else because it'll just increase gigabytes or something. Not unless you do the Unreal route and just nanite everything. But I still want this to be at least some form of good enough so it can just bend much more easier. But it's like a process of building everything like in Legos. And you have to make sure everything is squares or quads. Also, I am kind of like recording some of this too for the future because I do plan to make this into a video later on as part of my whips. Yeah. But since the YouTube allows you to download your own videos and also Twitch, since I don't have to really put like double stress on my computer, I can just like download the video later. Oh, yeah, that's not gonna work. Hello, Machi. How's it going? I'm just doing a little bit of 3D stuff today. Yeah. And this is, I'm doing some retopology. I'm pretty sure he'll be like the guy, this guy will be like the new kind of like loop animation GIF guy. Well, technically it's a little bit more redesigned of my avatar. This way, so. Trying to imagine how this would twist if this turns this way. I guess it would be fine like that if it was a 2. Alright, I guess that's fine. Because usually just this prevents like bending if I was doing like this way or something. So mostly today it's just building up the polys and just getting it set for like UVs and animations and stuff. But mostly the retopology takes time, so. Actually, let me go back. Made for. Oh, wait, yeah, I forgot. This is a mirror. Here in this section, so I'll have to do it like this way. And then there we go. And then I can just move all this in the front. God, here's like a lot. So I'm gonna move some of this out here. Ah, I see the issue. So this side needs to be disconnected here. So what I can do is just, yeah, I'm gonna have to delete faces and just add them back later. That's... And then I'll worry about adding the loops later. On top of the head. I just need to get this head much more expanded around here. Blender fries my brain. Yeah, I can see it again because there's really a lot more things going on. Yeah, because when I started out with Myra, I hated Myra because I pretty much didn't know that much anything what to do in the beginning. But there was like a lot of buttons that I had to like touch and practice just to break things to understand what would happen. But usually, I think the time when when it makes it easier to understand something if it's broken down in a way, like if you have like a specific goal in mind and you're trying to follow which specific structure to use, that leads to that goal, then basically you will eventually simplify which tools that you need to use, and you don't have to use every single tool in the 3D applications, because certain tools that's made or created only benefits to what type of project that you're working on. Because if all you care is about just animating stuff, you can just focus on and specializing in animation there. But if you care about modeling and animation, then I think there's two different ways to model between virtually for games and animation, and then there's also for 3D printing. Because 3D printing has their own pipeline that's very, very somewhat more different than what you're supposed to do in certain scenarios. Because for games and animations, you really have to worry about the polys and the poly count too as well. While in 3D, it kind of, while in 3D printing, it doesn't really matter because it has to go through some kind of machine. But I have no idea how the 3D process would technically work out, but theoretically, they would just make like block-sized versions of each character, and then they would just have it like assemble it as like a Lego if they want to break something apart. But yeah, it is a lot to take in still. Wasn't able to tune in last stream. We had midterm exams. Makes sense. How's midterms? Okay. Just try to redraw this another way. So the annotation works 80% of the time. Just hilarious when it explodes. Okay. We might have to do this manually. So far, it reminds me of Shy Guy. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. I plan to add the tertiary details in Substance Painter on a painting app instead of just sculpting on the thing, because it would just increase my poly counts. It'll be a bit more challenging though to have it like when it bends and when it comes to animate. Yeah, but I see what you mean. And then the eyes will be textured, of course. Because sometimes, depending on the style you're doing, it may be easier to have a 3D eye that's moves, or just have a texture sticker like Toon Zelda. Or no, Toon Link. Toon Link. Yeah, because Toon Link, his eyes are very hand-drawn, because it's just a stamp on the face. But he doesn't really have a 3D eye. It's just basically a texture on a face. Or maybe if I just drew this on here and then stretch it to over here, maybe I can get away with that. Before I try something drastic. Okay, maybe not. Alrighty, I guess we're just gonna extrude the normal way. But wait, why is it... Oh, okay, we're good. Thought I was gonna do something. Wait, you let me extrude from here. Okay, let me try to do edge extrusion. See what will allow me. Nope. How about now? Nah, it's referring to the other one. Alright, we're gonna do this a different way then. There we go. And then I'll merge those two. Real, I get 1 decimal only. No fun. It's trying to fight with me. Maybe if I just moved over here. Oh, I got a new idea. It's gonna fight with me that bad. And here's what I'm gonna do instead. I'll just simply just create 1 poly. There you go. And then I'll force it in. And we're good to go. I hope that would be used on your banner. Oh, most likely, yeah. But I'm doing it for like a, well, as an emoji GIF, but definitely if I wanted to make it easier on myself, I can just like throw it into the banner in the center. But then, because I did originally plan to have it, my banner to kind of be 2D drawn with my other characters in, but I could use a 3D as a reference just to, if I want to, either just, blend it in the banner itself, or just trace it as reference. Yeah, but there's many ways I could do this. I haven't really thought about far deep yet about what to do with the banner if I want to incorporate that much 3D into it. But I might. But definitely for sure using it for other things, especially with the Be Right Back panels and the Twitch panels too. And yeah, other things too as well. You know what? I might just yeah, I'll figure out a way to put him in a banner somewhere. But theoretically, he's still gonna be in the banner. I just haven't decided if I want him 2D or 3D yet. But mostly he's gonna be on the banner on other things. It also makes pretty much great still images, so I don't have to worry about like redrawing several times though, so. But There's a good chance that my profile pic may be updated, though, because if I get them into a position with a certain profile pic, then I may just, like, update that, and plus with a business card, too, as well. Because if I manage to get it to where the texture to the point that it looks stylized enough to look like... I mean, I'm sure pretty much Blender has, like, built-in NPR, but we'll see, we'll see. But we'll make it possible. I gotta move you back here. And I'm just gonna try to relax all this information here. It doesn't force the thing to stretch itself out. Pinch. And we're gonna expand E. And E. Should extrude. I don't know why it's twisting. Oh, cycle. Okay. Extrude for each face. It should work. Oh, there we go. I just changed the behavior. So it's doing something. Okay, that's why it probably didn't work the last time, because it just switched toggle behavior. Let's try this again. We'll just move this all the way up here for now. And then we'll just Alt. Oh, sweet, it got it. Okay. Doing that. How is it? Is it connecting or? Alright, there we go. Oh, hi, Tendier D6U. How's it going? I just got to know Twitch is one of it, Amazon's company. Oh yeah, it is. I mean, Twitch's been bought out to Amazon since 2014. Yeah, they also own Whole Foods. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Did you know about the Netflix Animation Studios now supports Blender? That's an interesting move though, on their part. So I guess there's a chance that Netflix may switch over to Blender and then instead of Maya. I don't know. Sounds like it to me because it's pretty much Blender is much more the identity of indies. And but Netflix used to be an indie itself. Is that why moderations is so bad? Well, I guess, but there's maybe other things internally going on. I mean, I don't know. Twitch is just its own force of amalgamation. Do you know for which one Oscars made by an independent group with Blender? No, I think I haven't heard of that. Is it recent? The last time I watched anything from the Oscars or the Game Awards was, I mean, well, I ended up watching clips of it nowadays from other people's reaction, just like small bits, just to move on, but not watch the whole thing. I used to watch the whole thing when I was a kid, but I don't know, it just got boring. Well, 2024 was pretty recent. Oh, okay. And is there any way I can get this to? I guess it's what it's doing. I wonder how this is cutting. Oh, I get it. It's technically it's not a circle. It's a quads within quads. I thought I had it. Because it was 8. I drew 8. No. Okay, I see what I did wrong. Okay. That's why it's not looking supposed to how I want to. Because it's not circular. It's a straight up quad. Okay. So I may have to rewind. I did a boo-boo. No worries, it happens. Because apparently I wasn't supposed to have those tiny little squares after all. Because I would be making more than 8 edges. Alright. We'll just go back here. Before that, I'll just make different versions of it in case I need to go back to which. Alright, file, save as. Alright, File open, so I have something to go back to in case I change my mind. Alright, there we go. In my head, you know, this looks way too perfect. Is there something I'm not doing right? Greatest open source might be software, it might be VLC, Blender, and OBS. Oh yeah, OBS is great. It's very customizable. There we go, that's what's supposed to look like right there. The whole entire time. Staring at me. So then when it circles around, it'll look way much better. And then I can easily extrude. Because I was wondering, why isn't it extruding all the way? There we go. I guess they won't spread out like a... Well, I guess I'll... just have to extrude it half in, half out. Yeah, half in, half out, and it should be fine. And then I'll just combine them again. And then now I can do loop cut. There we go. Interesting. Nice scale. Yeah, that would help a lot. And then I gotta relax this so it can be much more controllable. File, save as. I'm gonna put set version 63. Edit sculpt. There we go. And then we're gonna put some more loops here. We'll just go sculpt mode. Shift. Oh, ooh. Okay, let's see. Leave it is for now. Because I think once I get like a bit more of a shape going on here, a bit more controllable. So, and then those can combine here. Now it's kind of shifting a little bit. There we go. Then this eye over here.
We'll add more subdivisions probably on that.
Your sentence about your model being too perfect sounds like, oh no, my lobster's too buttery, my steak is so juicy. Oh, yeah. Yeah, because I've heard there's some times when you're just trying to too busy fixing on something, you get too in Retapo you get a bit too distracted trying to make everything perfect in the first place. Because your goal is to connect first and then work on those imperfects later once you get to a certain point. And the reason why certain things interact because it may need something else later down the road. Yeah, and also I'm trying to attempt to have the Retapo kind of like merge these meshes into one, because technically they're split, and it would just be easier to bake on that, so that's what I was attempting. At least he's getting there, so.